Hello, 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 my darlings. Well, every day gets better for me. Yesterday was better, and today is better. I'm going to get back into my autobiography. I've been skimming on it lately. As you know, today, let me see, today is Wednesday. Oh my goodness, today is Wednesday. We may be down on August 15th. I hope I haven't missed some birthdays. I got a whole bunch of birthdays on the 18th that I need to say happy birthday to them. And so it's still Leo season. You know how we are. We come in, we roar, then we go somewhere and sit down. Today is the 16th. It's somebody's birthday. I know that's on the 16th. So happy birthday, whomever that is. Happy birthday, Leos. But listen, Alan's father passed away on Sunday. We on Wednesday the 16th. And so he's gone on. But today, Wednesday the 16th, they announced that Jim Maddox passed away. And Jim Maddox was a good friend. He was the council person for 30 years in the SWATs district where I live. And he was very helpful with a lot of things that I did on the international level. So may God rest his soul. He and Alvin and Bowlegs and James Peak and a whole bunch of SWATs, Atlanta people, can all join hands together and, have conversations about, if they have conversations. I don't know what happens in heaven. I know it's supposed to be peaceful. They're at peace. So rest in peace, Jim Maddox. So where was I on my journey? I think I had finished college. Cheryl Hardison had helped me with finish my dissertation, because of Cheryl Hardison. Did I look up her name? It's just been so much going on. I apologize. But Cheryl Hardison did a lot to help me get that dissertation through. And so I'm teaching at Clark, Atlanta. I'm where did I stop teaching? Somewhere I go. Okay. So did I talk about working at municipal court? That's back. That's in the late 90s. Then I get breast cancer. Judge DeVoe. Did I get his name out? That's what I'm going to tell you about, Judge DeVoe and Judge Barbara Harris. Oh my goodness, I don't know what I got on here today. Anyway, they were very helpful and instrumental in me having that job and keeping that job. And actually, Judge DeVoe, it was instrumental in me having Dr. Rosberg Phillips. Because I went to court and I said, I can't be in court. I have breast cancer. I wrote him a note, I think. He stopped court, sent everybody out. He said, you can't do whatever you're doing. You need to go to my friend, Dr. Rosberg Phillips. Best move I ever made. Thank you, Judge Clint DeVoe. If anybody sees him, be sure to tell him thank you. Because he sent me to Dr. Rosberg Phillips. It was still breast cancer, but just the way she did it, she has a loving way of helping you through it. She has a network, Sisters by Choice. And it just helped me get through it. And that was in 2002. We're in 2023 now. What's the other part? So somewhere between 2000, so I'm teaching at Clark, Atlanta University, I should say. And and by this time we joined Big Bethel. So I don't know where I work. I think I worked at Big Bethel under now Bishop James Davis. He was a taskmaster, but a good one. I enjoyed his sermons, and whatever he said do, we did. That's why Big Bethel owns so much property downtown, because he if you're gonna be a trustee, you're gonna work. I worked. I enjoyed church. I didn't get in the choir, I don't think they knew I could carry a note. But anyway, it was good. My daughter went, like I said, from the usher board to the pulpit. And somewhere therein, she went back to school. And in the middle of school, Bishop Davis, some kind of way, he made bishop. Oh yeah, we had to first help him get to be bishop, which we all worked hard for him and was very happy. And he got assigned to Alabama. And the first year he took people over, but it was the second year, I think, before Alvin got brought over to Alabama, and she's still there. Well, I forget what year that is. So what did I do all in between? All the things I did, I could not do without the help of the Lord God Almighty, Jesus Christ. Could not. Secondly, all the things I may talk about, it took a team to get me there. So if I don't know the team members' names at this point, I didn't get anywhere on my own. Not. And thirdly, you all know what God has for you, He has for you. And so I was able to start the Commission on Women. And let me give you that story. So Mabel Thomas and I think I did it back there, I'm going to say it again. Mabel Thomas and I used to go to the Commission on Women on the state level. And one day I said, that's Abel Mabel. I said, why we don't have one for the city of Atlanta? She said, I don't know. So she went to C.T. Martin, and he got us money, and we started the Commission on Women. Of course, I wasn't president. Oh, they had to go get a brand name. I wasn't brand name enough, but the brand name didn't think of it. That's what a fat amazing. My job is to create. Remember that paper I had? But anyway, they had to go get a brand name. And I think in that, I got breast cancer, so I had to leave. And when I came back, I had to come back and clean up some stuff and get it back on track and get it going again. And I don't know what it's doing now, but I thought it was great to have a Commission on Women so we can, be in solidarity with women and for girls. The trafficking thing was just getting to be where people were talking about it. Speaking of, this is something that bothers me, and I need to let it go. When I worked at Delta Airlines, I just wondered. They say now, maybe it was back then we didn't know any better. There's a lot of trafficking that goes on with women through the airport, and I just think about, did I see any? Did I put somebody on the plane? Maybe the lady was looking, or the child was looking. Is that how kids look? You don't pay them any mind because they're with their parent. You think, oh my God, that haunts me sometimes. It haunts me. We have to be really careful. It was an Alaskan airline flight attendant that made the news. I heard about it because she said the child just didn't look right. And come to find out, he was trafficking the child. I think about how many children that maybe didn't look right that we said they didn't want to go. The only time we did not put a child on the plane is when that child cried and carried on. I remember a parent or somebody getting very angry that I didn't let that child go on that plane. The child was crying and carrying on too much. And I think we had some kind of unspoken rule or something we had that we could not put that child on the plane. That was the only time. I think about all the other children sitting there. May God be with our children. I pray all the time for our children. I know you do. I know you pray for our children because I pray for our children too. So I'm in the 2000s. So I got the Commission on Women going. I was chair of the, Bill Camel had appointed me chair of the Sister Cities Commission. And we're the only Sister Cities Commission under my leadership that brought the Sister Cities Convention to Atlanta. And that's when Holly was his PR person. I can't remember her name, but she was a genius. And she's the one that came to me to talk about the flags. So those flags you see down there is from the Sister Cities Commission. We brought in some great sister cities, made some wonderful partnerships. I'm an international woman. Obviously, I've been going out the country since I was 20. Some of you all did it earlier, but I was 20. Maybe turned 21 or 21. But this really can be more of an international city, I think, if we had more kiosks or more people who spoke more languages. But let me take that back. You don't have to do it anymore. The phone now, your smartphones, you talking to the phone in your language and it translates into the other person's language. Isn't that right? I think so. I think that's the way. So we don't need more people to speak language. You might need more signage that says where all that is. Maybe, I don't know. That may not even be necessary. We are an international city. We got the international airport. We go everywhere. So I don't know if the language is even making a difference anymore. I'm sorry. I'm old school because I was a foreign language teacher, French teacher for so long. So you don't have to do that anymore. So let me see, what else did I go on? I tried to run for office, didn't win. But I enjoyed working in the community. I enjoyed APAB. I enjoyed MPUS. I just think you need to put some time back into the community, making sure things are working well for citizens in your particular streetscape. Right now, I do the same thing where I'm living now. I just think that, I don't know who anointed me again, and said I should see about the neighborhood. So maybe, I raised my hand to come here. I'm an indigo elder, and so my job is to teach and push people forward, not necessarily myself, but to help other people get to the next level, because only God got me, and that's enough. I don't need, just God got me. So let me see. I also did a lot of with the city, and then some kind of way I got back on it. Oh, I know what happened. My daughter, so she has a church now in Bessemer, Alabama. So we're driving back and forth every Sunday. I didn't think anything about it because I was younger. Maybe I was in my 70s. That doesn't sound younger. Well, it was younger. So maybe I was in my 70s. Let's go back 2014. Y'all can add it up. But 2013, somewhere there. I'm 81 now, so whatever. You can do the math. I thoroughly enjoyed going back and forth every Sunday to her church. She had 14 members. I loved all 14. Maybe 7 came, but they were faithful. It was a good little church, New Magnolia AME Church in Bessemer, Alabama. Sweet people, sweet spirit. Big Bethel was very supportive of their daughter, Evelyn. They came over, and little churches need funds, but they came and sang, had a concert. Church was packed. It was wonderful. As the mother, I just enjoyed it because I didn't know about any of this. I just didn't know about any of it. So I would just been very supportive of Evelyn. In the meantime, the reason why we drove back and forth and didn't move over there is because we both taught at Clark Atlanta. It was wonderful to teach with my daughter, because I used to tell students, don't take a class from Miss Sanders because you're not getting an A. You can get an A in here, but you're not getting one over there. Wait, you want to hear something funny? I think I tell you already. We both were in school together, and we both took classes from. She was in a master's program, a doctoral program, but Dr. Dorsey taught in both of them. My daughter always got an A. You can't get less than a C in graduate school, so the best you can get is a B. Dr. Dorsey the late Dr. Dorsey loved my daughter. She could write. It was Dr. Daniel Black who got her first. I told you that. He went, no, red, no, red. Northwestern notwithstanding, no, red, no, red. She came home with her paper. She was like, who is this? I said, who did that to you, baby girl? Dr. Daniel Black. Oh my God, it was the best thing that ever happened. He's an awesome writer. And my daughter could write ever since she was a kid. She was always on the news. They had a newspaper in kindergarten. Evelyn would have been on it. But Dr. Daniel Black, Daddy Black, he put some on her. Best thing could have happened to her. So we had fun. We had some fun time. We had birthdays and fun times. And that's when we got all the traveling. We were traveling in Africa and London and here, there, and yon, and rolling with Tony Williams. Oh my God. We really had a good time. He had a good time. And this is when Councilwoman Sheila Brown was at her heyday. She was all of that. And along with the whole city council, they were all of that. It was just a great time to be in Atlanta, because you need to be all of that, because we had the Olympics and we had people coming here from everywhere. What took a meeting one day, my daughter said, I don't think they went home. And they didn't. I remember my sister Paquita saying, oh, my daughter was 14 when Paquita came here to visit. And she said, God, there's so many cars on the highway. I didn't think there were a lot of cars on the highway. She said, got a lot of people here. When did they go to sleep? See, I was so used to being here, I wasn't thinking about it. So now that Paquita lives here, she's like, oh my God, all these people, they didn't go home. Once you come to Atlanta, you don't go home. What is that? I did the same thing. I came out of Spelman in 64. Guilty. Went home one time because I had to try to save my life and my daughter's life. And so we went home for just 5 minutes. And then I couldn't take it. Can't do cold weather. Love my parents. Couldn't do it. Came back. Not a good move. It wasn't a good move to do that. That was stupid. But sometimes we do stupid stuff. I know you all don't do stupid stuff, but I admit to doing stupid stuff. You know, I like this right here. You see, I got it all of it on. Anyway. So with the 2000s, do you remember 1999? We thought the world was going to come to an end, but not my church. Big Bethel had the lighting of the cross. You know that cross that you see when you fly over Auburn Avenue? That church is Big Bethel AME Church. Yes, it is. And we needed Ernie Tate had worked hard as a trustee along with the rest of us to make sure that cross was up there and it was going to be lit on the 1999. Yes. And we all stood out there in our t-shirts and sweatshirts and praying. And we had, you know how you have watch service? We had watch service outside. We sure did. And we lit the cross like you light your Christmas tree. Lit the cross at 12:01. And we made it into 2000. And we've been here ever since. Yes, we did. I remember that. And so I'm still rolling around in 2000. So I'm getting down to 23 in a minute because so much happened to me. I want to go back to, let me see, we moved off of Donnelly back into the SWATs. And I wrote my dissertation. My daughter used to say she used to go to bed at night and wake up in the morning, I'd still be there. I didn't realize that. I'll still be in front of the computer. You all know what you have to do to write a dissertation? Never again. I didn't get Ibit. Cheryl Hardison did all that. Davison. Cheryl Hardison Davison, maybe. Anyway, Cheryl Hardison did that for me. She was like, girl, where your Ibit, where your da-da-da-da-da, where your margins? Whoo! I can't hardly tell you anything I researched. Isn't that terrible? I knew it all then. It's something. But I enjoy research. I did some recent research. And I'm embarking on something now. It's just, I'm fascinated with books and work. And what does that mean? I like fun too. I like to play bid whist. But the car where? Oh, I remember Wayne McMillan went home with me. I went home with Wayne one time. He went home with me. Everybody thought that was my boyfriend. No, we were just good friends. You can't have good friends. You can't travel with anybody and somebody just like, ooh. Oh, you know. He always bought me something. I always looked good because he wasn't having me going with him unless I looked like the queen that was with the king. Because he was, you know, Wayne McMillan could dress to this day. You know, everything was well appointed. Ferragamo, Giorgio Armani. So I couldn't be up there with my, well, I didn't know ASHLEY STEWART at the time. I couldn't even just have on Riches. I had to have on, what was those places? Regensteins, you know, all that. There's some more stores I can't think of that I loved. Saks Fifth Avenue. But we had our own little boutique kind of brand name kind of stuff. Anyway, so we traveled. So anyway, we went to Gary. And so my classmates were having something. I said, okay, I'm going to come over. And they said, we playing bid whist. I said, okay. I had never played bid whist with Wayne. And he said, Georgina, you know how to play bid whist? I said, mm-hmm. He looked at me like, oh, God, we're going to lose. We're going to lose. Because I had that, because I hadn't played in a long time. I'm thinking like, I don't know you like that. I know you, but we never played bid whist together. You know, we ran Boston's all night. It was just the luck of the draw. I know it was, but he was skilled. You know, and I had learned, I count. You know, you got to count. So all night, I wish I had a card. Y'all know what I did. You learned that in college, right? Bam! You got to put that card on your forehead. You're not playing bid whist that you put the card on the forehead. If somebody from another culture came in and saw you sitting up there with a card on the forehead, they might think you're the Wizard of Oz or something. Woo! All the way through school, all the way from, where did my mother let me start playing cards? Because I had to ask my mom, could I go play cards with Armenice, Jeanette, somebody. So I've been playing cards a long time. You know, a long time, all the way through college. And I played cards over at Clark College, where I wasn't supposed to be. That's a picture of me. I won't do it right now because the widow is moaning her husband, who was my boyfriend at the time and my first husband. But I got a picture of myself and Alvin and Strawbridge, and I'm sitting on the grass, a Spelman woman, sitting on the grass at Clark College with a boy who was not a Morehouse man. He laid down on the grass. I'm sitting all up on the grass. And they took a picture and put it in the Clark College yearbook. Yes, they did. I almost died. I said, oh, I knew they had my bags packed over there at Spelman. But I think there was not I was dressed. You didn't see anything. But it was just the idea I was sitting on the grass. You know, you can't walk on Spelman's grass. Walk on it. Your feet will curl up. Not walk on any grass. Don't work over there. Well, let me go on. Because where am I now? I'm just talking. I love municipal court. I think I told you about that. I had to write my grant for 5 years to keep my job. I wrote my own grant to keep my job. I met so many women who were suffering in domestic violence, and I could talk to them because I had my own share of it. And so it was easy to say, well, let me tell you what happened to me. And then once you did that, you had their confidence, you know, and then you could help them. You have to say whatever you need to say to get the confidence of the person so that you can get them to understand that you can live through this. You can survive this. You can have a life, but it's a mind thing. You know, somebody tell you forever, you're not pretty, you're not pretty, you're not pretty, you're not pretty. You ugly, you're not smart, you're not smart, you're not smart. You're not this, you're not this, you're not this, you're not this. You know, and in some cases, in a lot of their cases, then you get, they tell you something, then they come back and beat you up at the same time. It was difficult. It was not an easy job. But guess what? I look forward to that job. I looked forward to it. Not only because I had the best group of people at Atlanta Municipal Court, Anita K. Johnson. I told y'all about Anita. Anita crazy. She was the parole officer. And Anita will have you picked up in 30 seconds. Try her. You didn't try Anita, and I learned a lot from Anita. Atlanta Municipal Court, it was like a machine. It just did everything it was supposed to do the way it was supposed to do as far as I was concerned. It was the best training for me. It gave me a new perspective. I was all, not, let me see, how can I say this? I was all academia. I needed to be life. I need to be life. I need to hear some stuff, see some stuff, know what's happening with some people out here. Understand everybody's not academia. Everybody's not academician. Everybody's not an academician. People are living. They're struggling. It was the best thing for me. I didn't know who I wanted to do something with first, second, third, as much as I could. We would do the temporary protective order. Then we would walk down. Did I say walk? Walk from municipal court to Fulton County Courthouse. Up those stairs, find you a superior court judge. But you knew where to go by what time to get them when they were at lunch. Get them to sign your temporary order. Then get everything filed so the sheriff can take out the paperwork. One of the best jobs I ever had in my life. I didn't make a lot of money, but it was a lot of money as far as I was concerned. It was like $30,000, maybe $32,000, something like that. It wasn't even the money. Guess what? I don't have any money. I need some money today. I don't know. It would be nice to have a lot of money. But I made that money work for me. I did. Because it wasn't the money. On Monday, my office would be, people lined up. They said, Georgiana, they're waiting for you. That's okay. Take everybody one by one, because weekend was rough on the weekend for domestic violence victims. And just getting somebody to come in and not go back. I went back. I was up there in my mother's house. I didn't need to be coming back down here. I drug my daughter back down here to some more mess. Why would I do that? Because they tell you, oh, I didn't mean that. Crazy. But your mind just don't know, especially if you love a person. I did some I'm going too soon. I don't know. I did some cards called Orange Grace. For people who love people who are incarcerated. Mamas and daddies and aunties and uncles and grandfathers. Sisters and brothers. I did some greeting cards free. They're free online. If you want one, go get one. OrangeGrace.com, or orange, like the color orange. And then Grace. I thought that was a good name for it. They wear orange jumpsuits. But I'm saying here's some grace. Here's a card that's free. I would like to have it hooked into whatever that is in the system. I don't know if Labatt got a system, Sheriff Labatt, or should I go to, I don't know, they're free. If somebody would just hook that system in to my free cards, have at it. Now, don't try to make any money off the cards, because they're not, no. The cards are free, Free, okay? So I don't know where I am in my system. I guess I was telling you, my daughter and I drove back and forth to Bessemer, and she was associate curator of the gallery at Clark Atlanta University, where we have the best art. We own the best Black artist art. The second largest ownership of Black art is at Clark Atlanta University in the gallery. Did you know that? And then I taught humanities. And then in 2015, my daughter got assigned, 2014, she got assigned to Florence, Alabama. We didn't know what Florence, Alabama was. She was over there on a Saturday. She was going to go to her church in Bessemer, and the bishop assigned her to Florence, Alabama. She was in school, and so she had to scramble, tried to finish up that semester, and then go to Florence, Alabama. And I got me a bag of clothes and didn't take any classes. I think at that time they didn't want me having more classes anyway. I just left. I don't know what happened. We had this whole thing about DAH, PhD, who was qualified, who was dumb. They had a dumbing down of anybody who graduated with a certain degree from Clark Atlanta were not qualified. You all remember some of that? Some of my colleagues remember how they treated people at Clark Atlanta. It wasn't Clark Atlanta. It was just certain people it was a certain woman really. And she got with other people, and I can tell you some stories. But anyway, we went up there to Florence, Alabama. That's a whole nother story. Do you know where Florence, Alabama is located? Let me tell you, which you'll go, I know why you didn't last long. Florence, Alabama, where my daughter's church was located, was 13 minutes from Tennessee, the state of Tennessee, and 20 minutes from the state of Mississippi. Beautiful land, beautiful lakes and rivers. The Tennessee River was up there. Beautiful surroundings, but very small town. And they were, they had things that they were used to doing the way they were used to doing them. And that was 2015. I love you. And you can't do anything about it.